The very fabric of reality often seems stretched thin when we encounter the legendary figures of ancient mythology, especially those whose deeds defy the known limitations of physical law. We often categorize these myths as mere stories, thrilling narratives passed down through millennia, forgetting that within them are calculations of power that dwarf even our most fantastical modern imaginings. Today we dive deep into the astronomical power level of Lord Hanuman, the wind god's son, comparing his meticulously documented feats in the Ramayana not just against each other, but against the benchmark of raw, uncontrolled strength exemplified by figures like the Hulk. This comparison is not meant to diminish the green Goliath, a modern icon of unstoppable force, but rather to contextualize the sheer, incomprehensible scale of Hanuman's capabilities, which blend divine grace with unmatched brute physical might. We must first establish the parameters of the discussion. When we speak of strength in the Puranas, we are not measuring a static attribute. We are quantifying kinetic energy, endurance, size manipulation, and the pure, unadulterated will to overcome the impossible. Hanuman's life is defined by impossibility. From birth, his destiny was woven into the fabric of the cosmos, possessing a body capable of absorbing the Vajra, a weapon that shatters mountains, and a spirit guided by unwavering devotion. One of the most foundational and mind-boggling calculations involves his capacity for flight and rapid transit across unimaginable distances. Consider the epic leap across the Indian Ocean to Lanka. The historical geographical distance between the southern tip of India and Sri Lanka is formidable, yet this feat is not merely a long jump. It is an act of defying gravity and air resistance over hundreds of miles in a single bound. Modern estimates of the minimum distance often hover around 900 miles, trajectory requiring not just immense initial velocity, but continuous sustained output of energy far beyond any known biological limit. To put this into perspective, even a modern superhero requires sophisticated technology or gamma radiation to achieve such speed and distance, often relying on bursts rather than a seamless, continuous flow. Hanuman accomplished this leap while maintaining his consciousness, his focus, and his spiritual equilibrium, testament to mental fortitude complementing physical force. Now let us turn our attention to the sheer logistics of moving geographical features. The task of lifting mountains is a recurring theme in mythologies worldwide, but in the Ramayana, it is an acutely necessary action, not a casual display. When Lakshmana was gravely wounded, Lord Hanuman was tasked with retrieving the Sanjivani booty, the life-restoring herb from the Dronagiri mountain in the Himalayas. Faced with a dilemma how to identify the specific herb among millions, Hanuman chose the most efficient, albeit the most physically demanding. Solution: he lifted the entire mountain. This is where the calculation becomes astronomical. Dronagiri, even if only a segment of the range, represents billions of tons of dense geological material, often granite or compressed earth. Lifting, transporting, and then setting down a mass of this magnitude, covering thousands of miles in a matter of hours, places Hanuman firmly outside the realm of conventional physics and deep into the domain of cosmic power. The Hulk, renowned for his ability to lift Mjolnir in some rare instances or smash continents in others, operates on a scale defined by anger. His strength is directly proportional to his rage. Hanuman's strength, however, is activated by devotion and necessity. He does not need anger, he needs purpose. This controlled, purposeful application of infinite strength is arguably a greater display of power than uncontrolled, infinite rage. Furthermore, we must examine the ability of size alteration. Anima and Mahima Siddhis, powers that grant not just physical transformation, but a manipulation of mass and density. Hanuman could shrink to the size of a thumb, allowing him to infiltrate Lanka unseen, demonstrating precise control over his atomic structure. Conversely, he could swell to gargantuan proportions, dwarfing mountains and oceans, enabling him to survey battlefields or intimidate colossal enemies. When he expands, he is not merely an illusion. He embodies true physical growth. This means his mass increases exponentially, requiring an instantaneous influx of energy that defies conservation laws as understood by human science. This capability to oscillate between subatomic and planetary scales distinguishes him from nearly every modern, Strongman character whose size fluctuations are often limited by the inherent constraints of their origin story. If we attempted to quantify the pressure exerted by Hanuman during his confrontation with Lanka's guardians, or his crushing defeat of powerful Rakshasas like Akshaya Kumara, we would be dealing with forces measured in exanutons. His durability is also paramount. He has faced the fiercest weapons of the gods and demons alike, including those utilizing elemental forces, emerging unscathed or recovering instantly, indicating a molecular density and regenerative capacity far beyond human comprehension. He is not just strong, he's impermeable. This resilience means his output of force can be maintained indefinitely without fear of self-destruction. The modern concept of a powerhouse hero often involves a critical vulnerability, a weakness tied either to their power source or a specific material. Hanuman's only weakness is perhaps his devotion, which paradoxically is also his greatest strength. Comparing his achievements to those of popular culture champions often fails because the mythology operates on a different, grander metaphysical plane where the distinction between physical law and divine decree is blurred. Hanuman's ability to manipulate time, space, and mass through his divine gifts elevates him beyond the simple classification of a strong character. He is a force of nature, commanded by a moral compass. His feats are often undertaken with humility, a key differentiator. When he lifted Dronagiri, he did not boast. He acted purely out of service, demonstrating that true power is wielded not for ego, but for duty. Consider the battlefields of the Ramayana, where Hanuman engaged armies single-handedly, utilizing his mace, his fists, and his tail with devastating effect, generating shockwaves that leveled surrounding forests and fortifications. These destructive outputs suggest an energy level far exceeding nuclear yield. It's consistently applied across long-duration conflicts, an endurance feat that is often overlooked in favor of the more spectacular mountain-lifting exploits. He is the perfect fusion of wisdom, control, and infinite physical might, a combination rarely seen, even in the pantheon of comic book gods and titans. He possesses the intelligence to outwit, the speed to outpace, and the strength to overpower any adversary, making him a truly complete champion of virtue. The scale of his existence compels us to rethink our understanding of potential, reminding us that the ancient texts are rich repositories of power, scaling that make modern narratives seem constrained by their own internal logic. The question is not whether Hanuman could lift the Hulk's strongest smash. The question is whether the cosmos could withstand Hanuman's full, unchained potential were he ever to unleash it without the guiding hand of Lord Rama. It is a fascinating study of mythological physics. It's demonstrating that the legends of the past contain figures whose measured might surpasses the theoretical limits of modern fiction. We encourage you to further explore the depths of these powerful narratives and the incredible calculations of strength found within them. Uncover the untold stories of devotion, cosmic energy, and infinite power that shape the very foundation of civilization. Discover why the feats of the monkey god continue to inspire awe and meticulous study thousands of years later, offering a blueprint for understanding strength beyond measure. To continue this journey into the profound truths and astronomical feats enshrined in the sacred texts, subscribe to Sanatone Puranas. Join our community as we decode the epic sagas and reveal the true extent of power wielded by the heroes and gods of the ancient world, figures whose strength redefines impossibility. Sanatone Puranas is your gateway to understanding the boundless strength and enduring wisdom that define the eternal stories of our heritage.